The Detroit Lions got a star. Nobody's talking about it, but he is the man that is going to drive the ship for the offense this year. And no, I'm not talking about a player. But with that being said, what have you been hearing? What has you most excited coming out of Detroit Lions training camp so far? Got to know. I want to know what has you most excited coming out of camp so far. And is it one of the coaching changes? Is it a position change? Is it a rookie that's climbing the ladder? Is it the center position? I don't know. You let me know and hit it. We're going to hit who the star is that the Lions have. That is very clear based on the first week or so of practice. And I think we are going to see it even a little bit in the preseason game. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. We're going to see it in the preseason game. And that man is none other than Lions offensive coordinator, John Morton. And don't turn this off because this is exciting. There is nothing better than having a good offensive coordinator. Think about how much all of you loved Ben Johnson. Just stop and pause and think about that for a second. And you're sitting here realizing how much you loved Ben Johnson. Not now that he went to the Bears, right? Went to the enemy. No, maybe you don't. But when he was with us, when he was calling plays over the last 3 years, don't tell me you didn't fall in love with that guy. Who do you give more credit for this Lions offense? Ben Johnson or Jared Goff? Who do you give more credit for on this offense? Now, I'm going to give you a third answer. It's Dan Campbell. I've talked about this a lot. But let's talk about what we're hearing coming out of camp on John Morton. But I'm going to start with an outside source. I'm going to talk about a guy who knew, all right, who knew offensive coordinator John Morton and helped him and was part of his growth and maturation, and that is John Gruden. So here's a clip from John Gruden talking about who we're getting in John Morton. Here you go.
He is a hard-working guy. For all the Detroit fans, what you don't see is the work ethic that you're getting. This guy's nuts. People thought I was nuts. This guy is freaking nuts, man. He loves it. He's a creative guy. He's a great competitor. And I can't wait to see the Lions open up the season.
All right. People thought I was nuts. This guy's nuts, right? So I just think that's hilarious when you see stuff like that. John Gruden's actually going to be at our practice for a few days here. He's in all Lions garb, so I'm very interested to see what that's all about. But there's a lot of great offensive minds. And John Gruden talks about just how hard he works, and that was emphasized that over the offseason, John Morton spent his entire summer in the lab going to work. He delayed his vacation this year. All right, no beaches, no trips, nothing like that. Instead, he just locked himself away and was watching tape. How cool is that? I think that's really great. And Tim Patrick actually had a quote talking about that too. He said, I was in Denver with him. One thing you're going to get out of Johnny Mo is he's going to be the hardest worker in the building. He's going to sleep here some nights. All right, that's the exact same sentiment that we heard from John Gruden. And that is the thing that you hear over and over about Morton. He's viewed as this guy who never stops working. He's viewed as this guy that has an eye for detail, whether he's been in other positions, it doesn't matter. I was watching a video clip the other day when they were talking about Craig Reynolds. And you've got Deuce Staley, the running backs coach. You got Ben Johnson in the room, and it's John Morton that stepped up and was like, we can't not have this guy. And it proved to be very beneficial for our team. And I love that. And he even said, another quote from Morton is, I just love the whole aspect of just sitting in my laboratory by myself and trying to dissect the defense. I think that's fun. That's what you want. You want a guy that is just going to be sick and twisted when it comes to calling the plays for your team. A guy that, and when I say sick and twisted, what I mean by that is like his idea of fun is grinding in a dark room watching film. That's fantastic because it's one thing to be smart and be able to do it. It's another thing to be smart, be able to do it, and enjoy doing it because you want to keep going back. All right, now I want to emphasize continuity in this. We've all known that Morton was around when the Lions put this thing together in 2022. All right, here's what some of the other people are saying about him. And then I'm going to get into how the media is viewing him so far a week into training camp. All right, 7 practices. All right, Jared Goff on continuity. Here's what he said. He said, he just sounds different in my ear. We're running a lot of the same stuff. Some of it's different. Some of it's new. I think the transition is a lot less than you guys are making it seem. All right. In other words, Jared Goff's like, no, this is good. This is what we're continuing to do the same things. He reassured later, a lot of the stuff we're doing, it is the same. And some of it's different. That's what you want. You don't want it to be the exact same because then it gets old, it gets stale. You need to be able to continue to change, right? Morton, here's what he said. I'm not changing much. I mean, why? He was talking about like how good the offense was under Ben Johnson. All right. He made an emphasis on subtle tweaks. He said the offense will mostly stay the same with only subtle tweaks and concepts added. All right. There were numerous reporters that have come out and basically are like, hey, people are making a big deal out of the change in coaching staff with the offensive coordinator and the defensive coordinator. And they're all saying being at practice, nothing. It's humming along. Like no problem at all. In some ways, it's going to be better. Dan Campbell talked about, hey, that's already going to be written. If we have a bad game, if the offense doesn't look good or the defense doesn't look good, it'll be talking about the position or the defense or offensive coordinator being in flux. And he's like, that's already written. It's going to be out there. He's like, I'm not worried about it. He's not worried about it. John Morton is a hard worker. He is smart. But again, it's Dan Campbell. And that's the thing that I think I love going back to. When you talk to Morton, when he's talking about, trick plays and things like that, he said this on trick plays. Well, we'll see. I'm going to do whatever he wants, but we're going to have everything. Whatever was working, we're going to continue to do that. Here's what he's saying, and he's said this many times. That'll be up to Dan. That'll be up to Dan. That'll be up to Dan. The one thing he didn't say that'll be up to Dan is that he's working on isolating guys to give them the chance to take more shots deep. Love to hear that. Hello, Jameson Williams. Big year incoming. Get him on your fantasy team. But everything is whatever Dan wants, whatever Dan wants, whatever Dan wants. Why? Because it's Dan's offense. And I'm telling everybody, this is going to continue to be a good offensive team because it's going to continue to run through what Dan Campbell wants. All right, we're going to talk about the defense in another video. Of course we are. 2 days away, at least from when I'm posting this video, 2 days away, we got a preseason game. What do you think? All right, maybe we should go live for part of that. I don't know. Just a thought. All right, hey, anyways, hope everybody's doing well. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. I really can't believe how confident I am in this offensive coordinator. I really can't believe. All right. Thanks for watching. See ya.